Have you ever heard of a creature that simply refuses to die? It almost sounds like a legend, the kind of story whispered around campfires or written in a fantasy novel. Yet, hidden beneath the waves, there's a tiny jellyfish that has baffled scientists, divers, and storytellers alike. It isn't fierce like a shark or massive like a whale. It's fragile, delicate, and nearly invisible to the human eye. Still, this unassuming little being carries a secret that could challenge everything we think we know about life itself. This creature's name is Turritopsis dohrnii, but most people call it the immortal jellyfish. And while the word immortal might make you think of vampires or gods, here it describes something entirely real. This jellyfish has the astonishing ability to avoid death in a way no other known animal can. It doesn't do it with sharp teeth, armor, or speed. Instead, it uses something even more mind-blowing: the power to reset its own life whenever things get tough. So today, you and I are diving deep into this ocean mystery. We'll explore what makes this jellyfish unique, how it manages to pull off its life reset trick, and what its existence means for us humans. Along the way, I'll share comparisons, surprising facts, and questions that might make you wonder whether immortality is truly a blessing, or something far more complicated. Small but extraordinary. When people imagine creatures with superpowers, they usually think of something huge and intimidating: a giant squid with massive tentacles, or a prehistoric shark with teeth like knives. But the immortal jellyfish flips that expectation upside down. It's ridiculously tiny, measuring only about 4 to 5 millimeters across when fully grown. That's about the size of a sesame seed. So small you could miss it completely if it floated right past your mask while snorkeling. And yet, despite its size, it carries a secret ability that no elephant, eagle, or even human has ever achieved: the ability to hit restart on life itself. Think about it for a moment. Giants like blue whales can live for 80 to 100 years, but eventually they all face the same end. This jellyfish, smaller than your fingernail, skips that final chapter entirely. In a way, it's like discovering that the smallest chess piece, the pawn, suddenly has the power to bend the rules of the entire game. Its small size is also part of the reason it survived unnoticed for so long. While divers and photographers focus on colorful coral reefs, dolphins, or manta rays, this fragile jelly quietly drifts in the background. You might say it's nature's best-kept secret, hiding in plain sight. And maybe that's the point. Sometimes the tiniest things carry the biggest mysteries, reminding us that nature doesn't always play by our expectations. The strange life cycle. Most creatures on Earth follow a predictable storyline: birth, growth, reproduction, and death. It's the rhythm of life we're all familiar with, from butterflies to blue whales. But the immortal jellyfish doesn't play by those rules. When faced with old age, injury, hunger, or even danger, it doesn't just fade away. Instead, it performs a jaw-dropping trick that seems almost supernatural. It reverses its own life cycle. Picture this. Instead of dying, the adult jellyfish, called Medusa, shrinks and transforms into a blob-like state. It attaches itself to a rock or the ocean floor, waiting in this strange limbo. Within just a few days, that blob begins to change shape, and soon, it's no longer an adult at all. It has completely reverted to its baby stage, known as a polypus. This is the jellyfish equivalent of a 90-year-old man suddenly turning into a newborn again. From that polyp stage, the jellyfish can clone itself, producing new medusae, each capable of repeating the same cycle. There's no limit to how many times it can pull this stunt. So instead of the straight line of life and death, the immortal jellyfish lives in a loop, resetting itself endlessly. In the world of nature, where everything eventually comes to an end, this tiny creature dares to write its own story, circling back to the beginning whenever it wants. The reset button of life. Think of the immortal jellyfish as nature's version of a restart button. Just like when your computer freezes and you hit restart to clear all the glitches, this jellyfish does the same with its body. Instead of letting damage or age build up, it simply rewinds back to the start, fresh and ready to try again. No hospital visits, no medicine, no waiting. It's like having unlimited lives in a video game. The transformation itself is fascinating to watch under a microscope. The adult jellyfish folds in on itself, turning into a strange cyst, basically a little ball of potential. From there, cells reorganize, almost as if the jellyfish is rewriting its own instruction manual. Within days, the cyst develops into a polyp colony, the baby stage that can bud off new jellyfish. It's a full biological reset, something no other animal can pull off this cleanly. Now, imagine if humans had this ability. Instead of struggling with aging bones or chronic illness, we could just reboot into a younger version of ourselves whenever life got tough. Grandparents could turn back into teenagers, athletes could reset before every season, and no one would ever fear birthdays again. Sounds wild, doesn't it? But for the immortal jellyfish, this isn't science fiction. It's just another Tuesday. Where to find it? Here's the surprising part. The immortal jellyfish isn't some rare, one-of-a-kind treasure hidden in just one corner of the world. In fact, it can be found in oceans almost everywhere, from the Mediterranean Sea to the coasts of Japan, and even in the Atlantic and Pacific. These little survivors drift quietly beneath the waves. If you've ever gone diving or snorkeling, chances are you've been in the same waters as one, without even realizing it. The reason it escapes notice is simple. It's practically invisible. Its body is clear, almost glass-like, blending perfectly with the water around it. Combine that with its tiny size, and it becomes a master of staying hidden. Divers spend hours chasing after dolphins, sharks, and sea turtles, while these little immortals float by unnoticed, right under their noses. That invisibility is part of the mystery. It's almost poetic. A creature with the most extraordinary ability in the animal kingdom goes about its life in silence, hidden from view. No flashy colors, no dramatic displays, just a quiet existence, carrying one of nature's greatest secrets in a body smaller than your pinky nail. Why does it matter? At first glance, you might think, all right, it's just a tiny jellyfish hitting repeat on its life. What's the big deal? But the truth is, this little creature forces us to rethink everything we assume about the natural world. Most animals are bound to the same beginning and end storyline, but the immortal jellyfish completely rewrites that rulebook. That alone makes it one of the most fascinating creatures ever discovered. Beyond pure curiosity, it also gives us a glimpse into what's possible in biology. If something so small and fragile figured out how to recycle itself endlessly, what might that mean for the bigger picture? It sparks questions about aging, survival, and whether life really has to follow the same straight line we're used to. This isn't just another ocean fact. It's a reminder that the planet still hides mysteries that can change our understanding of what life can be. And let's not forget the human side of this curiosity. Deep down, people have always been obsessed with immortality. Stories of fountains of youth, magic potions, and eternal life are as old as civilization itself. The immortal jellyfish shows that, at least in nature, something close to that dream already exists. It may not be glamorous, but it's real, and that makes it even more astonishing. Conclusion. So here's the big question. If you had the same ability as the immortal jellyfish, would you use it? Imagine hitting restart every time life got tough. Back to a younger, stronger version of yourself. Some people would jump at the chance. Others might say no, because maybe the beauty of life is that it doesn't last forever. This tiny jellyfish invites us to think about more than just nature. It makes us reflect on our own choices and values. Would endless time make us bolder dreamers? Or would it steal away the urgency that pushes us to live fully? After all, a story with no ending might lose its meaning. What is certain is this: the immortal jellyfish proves that nature still has the power to astonish us. It's a reminder that even in the vast, mysterious ocean, miracles can come in the smallest forms. So, what do you think? Would you choose immortality if you could? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell, because more wild animal curiosities are waiting to be uncovered.